Until this point, we have declared our variables and directly assigned value to them. Imagine a situation where we want to build a real software where it will ask values from the user and use those values to computations. In that case, we must use another type of built-in function, which is the input function. For example, let's imagine a program that asks to a user his country and print that country in the terminal. So I will create a variable called your country and I will assign a value, but I will not directly give the value here. As I said, I want the user who use my program to give his country and the program print his country in the terminal. So I'm introducing here the input function. So input, and I will ask a question to the user. Remember, it's a string when you want to write a character sequence. So I write, what is your country? Question mark. If I print this in the terminal, so I will come here and print your country. So let's run this and see what it gives. So when we run, the program asks me, what is your country? So I can answer, for example, Cameroon. And if I press enter, you see the program return Cameroon. So the program print my country, Cameroon. In order for you to see this very well, I can print a complete statement like my country is, and dynamically render my country name. So you remember, I must put these curly braces and this variable my country, I cut it and I paste here. Very good. And remember, I must close the string. Good. And now don't forget to put an F before, because it is a formatting string. So when I print, you see it asks me again, what's your country? And if I write Cameroon again, when I press enter, it writes my country is Cameroon. So every time that I would change please the value of my country, we dynamically print my country. So this is a very important built-in function input to ask from a user the value of a variable to perform some calculation with it. There is a very important thing on which I want to draw your attention. Let's, instead of asking the country, let's ask maybe the age of the user, which will be now a number. So what's your age? And we dynamically want to render his age. So we put here your age. If we run it, what's your age? I put, for example, 25 again, and I press enter. Beautiful. It gives the same result, but the point where I want to draw your attention, instead of printing your age, let's print the type of variable your age. So we erase this and we write the type, the type of your age, and we close the print function. Beautiful. And we run it again. So what's your age? If I give 25 again, you see the type, it is not integer but it is a string. Why? Since I gave 25, but why is Python saying that it is a string? It's because input function always return values in the string data type. It means that with this value I cannot directly do calculation that are valid on number types like integers and float. For example, let's define the age of the user in 5 years. So the program is asking his name and we return his name is in 5 years. So let's create a new variable and we call it age 5, which means his age in 5 years. It's equal to your age, his actual age. So in 5 years he will be his actual age plus 5. But if we print this, we will have an error because this is not an integer or a float. So this is a string. You cannot do the sum of a string type and a number. So if we print, you will see that error. Let's print and we put the age 25, and if we press enter, you see we have what is called a type error. I'm going to show you how to manage errors in the future, but from now I just want you to read this. Can only concatenate string, not int to string. It's because, as I told you, input function, although I've put 25, return that 25 not like an integer but like a string. So Python here understand that I want to concatenate this string with an integer, which is impossible. So if I want to get the input from the user and I want to do some calculation, I must convert it either in integer or float. For example, let's convert this age to integer. So to convert, this is a new built-in function that I want to show you. We must use int. This is to convert to integer, so lowercase int, and I put the bracket parenthesis. Good. Now if I print, I will have 25, which is this plus 5, so I will have 30 years. So let's, for example, cut this and we paste here, and we take the age, we paste here. Very good. So if I print now, what's your age? I say now 25, and if I press enter, it gives me 20. The error has disappeared because I've converted the age to integer. If I instead want to convert to float, I must use the built-in function float. It's always in lowercase float, and if I print again, it will convert this value to float and add 5. So I print what's your name, what's your age, 25, and enter. So it gives me 30.0, which is a float number.